Hi, welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, as you can see, I'm going to do some reading because I got my glasses on. I wanted to give an update on our legal challenge that we're going through at the moment. We lost our attorney who, well, it was no great loss because he hadn't actually done anything. I think he thought that he was going in on Monday to do a lightning walkthrough because he's an attorney, and it turned out to be a lot more difficult than he thought, because he wasn't as computer savvy as he had believed himself to be, and he got stymied, and I guess he just thought that it wasn't worth what he was going to get. So he quit on us, and we are now waiting to get the money back that we paid him. Okay, so what does that leave us? Well, we got in touch with our friends at the Village of Hope, which is an orphanage which we've done some work with in the past, taking people down there who have been very generous with their gifts for the children. And we've made friends down there, and Jam, who is the director, had offered to help us, and she has also been a good go between us and the DSWD. So just to reiterate, that the DSWD are doing what they are required to do by law, and they are working with us. Believe it or not, these are people with faces, they're people with feelings. And even though I've been feeling a bit hard-headed about, well, couldn't they work with us on the building of houses, because we have one particular family that is in desperate need of a house, and especially now that these heavy rains are coming on, it's been a tough one for us. But anyway, we got to accept that, bite the bullet. And that's what we're doing. But meantime, we are using the lady that we were introduced to by Jam, the director at the village, and she is now taking our paperwork around. And so any little difficulties that come up, she gets in touch with us, unlike the attorney, and she tells us what's needed. Now, just to give you an idea of what's needed, okay? We need birth certificates. We need birth certificates, marriage certificates. We need diplomas of all of the officers of the board, the board members, diplomas. We need the bylaws. We've been able to get these relatively easy, the bylaws, and we need a mission statement, what we're intending to do. We need to be able to say what area of expertise we are in. We need ID for everyone, so that's a passport for me. I, of course, am not employed. I am only here as a volunteer. That's because I'm a foreigner, okay? So I'm not actually holding down a job. We need a name for a corporation. We need and we need several names, because if it comes even close to being like someone else's corporation, then it can't go through. But we have got one that's been authorized and approved, and we'll release that when the time comes. So we needed evidence of our track record. What have we been doing? Well, as you will know, because you are all here because of the videos that we put out, and that's why you're here, is that you're interested in what happens and the videos that we show. Well, that was a tough one, actually, to decide what we were going to show. That's because there's about 4,000 videos that we can draw on to show what we've been doing. Well, obviously we showed all of the photographs of the families that we've rehoused in our 31 houses. That's no mean feat. In something like 18 months of operation, we've actually put up. We put up helped, finished 31 houses, plus we finished the final knockings on the church so that the extension could actually be incorporated into the church, and we helped with that. We have done a great deal of stuff, from building houses to having people finally get in some cases life-saving operations, surgical and otherwise, hysterectomies, gallstones, and the latest ones, which caused us the biggest heartache, was the young lady with the cyst in her head, which was very troublesome for her. Obviously, she was a young girl, and the last thing that a young pretty girl needs is that. Anyway, they got that handled. Then we had the more harrowing thing of a year ago. A young man called Dennis came to us with a horrendously large tumour in his thigh, which obviously was going to require some very heavy invasive surgery. Well, we got him to hospital, and we got him the tests that he needed, and the decision of the suggestion of the surgeon was not very good in terms of good news for Dennis, and he was going to have the leg off. That was going to be a heavy amputation because it goes right up into the groin. Well, he wasn't quite ready for that, and he went away, and I guess he thought about it for the best part of a year, and then he finally came back because he was in so much pain that he just couldn't take it. So we got him into the hospital. Our true heroes, the people who subscribe, you, who support us in every way, were able to give us the funding to be able to get that operation done. And we had a good discount from the surgeon, as we've had from many of the people that have done the work that we've asked them to do. As soon as they know what we do, then everything changes. We've taken little girls in with broken legs. We've done such a variety of things, none of which we were really prepared to do. But anyway, all of that, and then baby Faith came up as a challenge, and she is in hospital right now. Was supposed to have been discharged today, but it turns out that she has a fever. She's only 4 months old, and she has had 2 invasive surgeries done in the last, well, in her life, 4 months old. So that's been a tough one. She's going to be kept in until tomorrow, as I've already done in an update. So it gives you an idea that we have most of everything that's there. We were just short of, I think, 1 officer, 1 board member. So we have to get that board member that we've now found, get him up to Tagbilaran. He has to have a PIN number which shows that he is employable or been in and paid tax at some point. So I guess like having a tax number, and everybody has to have that. So that's the next thing, and then has to have his ID and his birth certificate and all stuff like that. So how do we know what we need when we need it, and what takes the pain out of it is that we have Anna, who is this clever young lady who is actually doing the legwork and taking our papers around so that it actually gets done. I've got to say that I'm not the best one at paperwork. I've got the paperwork here for my residency, which I'll be doing as soon as Anna has seen our paperwork through to its final conclusion on the non-profit status. I will get her to take these papers around it's not much, but to me it's an absolute headache, I tell you. So she's going to do that for us as well. And so that will be that out of the way too, and a big relief too. So, what else can I tell you? In among all of this, it's been a huge eye-opener, because the person that actually started, well, actually she didn't really start it, he didn't start this, he brought it to a head so that we were being under scrutiny, and that the DSWD had to get in touch and had to say, you can't do the houses thing. That's really what it's amounted to. Can't do welfare work. So there's no question of the fact that this was an attack. It was not a knight in shining armour coming out to say, look, I admire what you do, but it's against the law, so you're going to have to do something about this. Now, if he had really been interested in just putting things right, he would have done that and contacted us, and he would have done it without going and stabbing us in the back, which is what he did, because he made quite a few, 4 or 5 allegations which were just untrue. So, and the least of which was not that we were scamming and thieving, something that has never ever been a case, because everything that we get, we use and we keep records of. We film our receipts for materials paid on the houses. Everything is all transparent, and many of our staunch supporters have said, you don't have to tell everybody everything. Well, we feel that we do, and this is obviously a huge saving grace, because everything we've done is recorded, chronicled on video, and so it's not really a problem. In fact, had the DSWD done a little more research as this person, it would have made a huge difference. Now, we had already instructed, seems a small thing now, because the attorney that we used, as I said, has ducked out, so in fact nothing was being done. But we considered, because we'd paid money as a great deposit, we considered that everything was in hand. So it was a surprise to us that we should be told not to work, not to house families, not to help kids. It's a bitter blow. So it's very fortunate that this has not cost a little girl her life, which, let's face it, it could easily have done if we had been in that position where we couldn't even help the mother of baby Faith. Now, that would have been a real travesty, and our friend would have been held accountable for some of that, if only in the fact that he would be outed and recommended. Now, we still don't know who this person is. We know a name, and we know his associations. Believe me, we know his associations. A kid that comes and plays with Talik also goes and plays with somebody else's kids. And they warned us up ahead of time, because of being in the other camp, that she told, and I don't think I've mentioned this before, but this little girl, because of what she heard, came to Talik and said, Terence and Beth are going to be in a lot of trouble, because what they're doing, they don't have a license for. Could only have come from one place. So, by association with this so-called Peter Smith, it all will eventually be revealed. So, we are in process now, and we are gathering the documents, and we need to be able to go to the BIR, we need to go to SEC, we need to go to the mayor's office, and all of these will be permits and regulations met, and it's all going ahead. Now here's the irony. As I was saying, this was not an effort, this was not a concerned citizen, this was an enemy. This was a stabbing in the back, and it was meant to bring us down. Now, all of you Christians out there, all of us Christians in here, say that God works in mysterious ways. Our subscribers are coming in at the rate of almost 1,000 a day. New subscribers at the rate of almost 1,000 a day. We are actually right now on 37,000, and we are on the cusp, probably by tomorrow, maybe by tomorrow midday, maybe even sooner, we will be at 38,000. And chances are that we will be on this, going on this as a model, we will be over 40,000 by the end of next week. Over 40,000. Now, one of our subscribers wrote to me today and said, I hope that this is okay with you. If it's not, I will erase it, not do it. But what he had done is, he had written an open letter to all of his, which he had sent, an open letter which he had sent to all of his friends on Facebook, 500 friends, saying, I feel really strongly about this couple who are helping the less fortunate people in the Philippines, people who are almost on the verge of living without hope. Some of the people that we helped are actually living without hope, could never have managed to get into a house, could never have done anything more than live in the dirt floor shack with the leaky roof with all of their children, if we had not been here to help, if we had not been able, through our channel, to tell their story. And that's always been the way that we work. We tell the story. So we tell the story, and then people can help in whatever way they want. And when they help, they will be acknowledged. So if Harry does this, it will be acknowledged. And if there's anything left over, it will go to the next project. And that's the way that we've worked. And we've been completely transparent about what we do. And we have tried to bring a better standard of living to the people that work and do our houses and stuff. And we've tried to do that by by giving a better rate of pay. Now, that was always our intention. It was our declared intention, not some secret thing. And the people that we build houses for receive those houses for not one single penny. In fact, as part of that service, we buy them a bed and a mattress so that they don't sleep on the cement floor that we have made for them. So, the legal stuff is going ahead, and I wanted to point out just how ironic it is that something that started out as what was considered to be a lethal blow has turned out to be quite the opposite, and has brought people to us in droves. At this rate, we expect to be at 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That is what we believe is going to happen. And that is on the basis of what has been happening in the last few weeks. Just before Christmas, just before Christmas passed, it was my wish that we would reach 10,000 subscribers before Christmas. And as I said, we are on the cusp now of 38,000, which was, back then, would have been beyond our wildest dreams. But since then, we've done a hell of a lot. And we've been able to do that because of our subscribers, who we still maintain are the real heroes. We're just passing on the blessings. Thank you for looking in. Thank you for being with us in this fight. And thank you for sharing to other people what we do. Sharing the stories, sharing the videos, sharing your belief in us, your trust in us, which we value above all things. Thank you for looking in again. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Bye for now.